Welcome to our series of interviews with writers for this year's Cold Creek Literary Festival. Our writer tonight is Sandi Wallace. Sandi is an avid reader of crime fiction, which initially led to an interest in policing before she became an accomplished crime fiction writer herself. She's won many awards for her short stories, including several Scarlet Stiletto Awards. Her debut novel, Tell Me Why, won the Darwin Awards Reader's Choice. Her current novel is Black Cloud, the fourth to feature her characters Georgie Harvey and John Franklin.
Thanks so much for including me in your wonderful literary festival again. It's a real honour.
Sandi, why did this fourth novel have to be written?
Black Cloud is my latest release. It's my sixth published book, my fourth rural crime thriller starring Melbourne journalist Georgie Harvey and Dalesford cop John Franklin, and they can all be enjoyed as standalones or as part of the series, and two collections of short crime stories. It's very exciting for me because it's the realisation of a childhood dream. It was about the age of 6 that I was already hooked to crime fiction, thanks to wonderful children's authors such as Enid Blyton, and it's still my favourite genre today. It was about that age that I also decided I wanted to be a crime writer when I grew up. Well, it took me a while because Tell Me Why, my debut thriller, didn't release until I was in my 40s, but I'm very excited to be living the dream now. Because I've loved crime fiction for such a long time, I know that readers come to it with different expectations, different motivations. Some will be just looking for the entertainment value. They'll want an urgent, suspenseful, believable, page-turning read, its character and setting rich. Others want to dig deep into real-life themes and feel moved, and perhaps that opens dialogue and even changes perceptions. For me, I know nowadays, as a reader, the stories that stay with me best and longest are the ones that give me all of that. So as a writer, that's what I try to deliver. I try to deliver on all of those levels. And I also I'm true to myself and I write the story that feels like it needs to be written. It's the thing about our real life world, our society, our contemporary living that moves me as a person and as a writer. So in Black Cloud, it's how a tragic event is amplified when it happens in a small country community. And even more so when that means that some local police officers don't make it home safely. How that one event can shatter so many lives. I wanted to get back to the core of being a rural crime writer as well, and to highlight grassroots crimes that are prevalent in our country towns, things like stock and other farm theft and black market trade. So they were the drivers for this story. In Black Cloud, at the very start, John Franklin is heading to Colebrook to investigate stock theft. Georgie Harvey is in nearby Gordon and she's following up a suspicious death for a story. And their friends from Dalesford, Sam Teserino and Grant Irvine, police officers, they're on their way to a farm in Coinjibora, little country place, farming community between Dalesford and Ballan. They're there for a welfare check on a young family of 4. And tragically, when they arrive, there's a fatal house explosion. And that's where everything begins in Black Cloud. It's a real roller coaster.
So which character have you created that you find was the most fun to actually write?
That's a great question. I love writing all my main characters and some of the minor ones too. And I think that that's essential. And I'd love to ask other writers that question. I think that as the writer, if I'm not feeling it, if I'm not really connected into my character, then that would surely be a sign that there is something fatally wrong. And I need to either go back and fix it or perhaps even start all over again and throw that idea away. If we're not even loving to hate a character, then there's something very wrong, I think, because as the writer, how is our reader ever going to connect with them? So that would certainly be a sign. I just love, especially, to pull on the skin of Georgie Harvey and John Franklin and to tell their individual scenes and to be their spokesperson rather than their creator, to wear their skin, to be their person. So with Georgie, to be younger, more sassy, more reckless than I would ever be or I'd want to be in real life. And then to be Franklin, a male cop, and investigate and think and do as he does. It's very exciting, and I really love to do it. And I'm also very much enjoying getting inside the characters of my latest work in progress, but I'll tell you a bit more about that later.
So is there any person that you bounce your ideas from?
Absolutely, it's my hubby. He is probably my number one fan, critic, and person I'll bounce ideas with. So he loves to read crime fiction these days as well. Ever since my first book got published, he's become a reader of it, and which is great because we get to share the enjoyment of good books. And we watch a lot of crime fiction together, so he knows his stuff. So if I can just blurt out an idea and give it some airspace, get it out of my head and out into the world a little bit, just bounce it off him and see what he thinks of it, it can really help me solidify an idea to decide, yes, that's got legs. And probably by the time I say it out loud, I think it really does have legs already. But, just that bouncing around can actually just really just get my juices going, as well as know I'm on the right track and this thing can really work. And it's a lot of fun sharing it with him. One of the greatest things about this writing gig has been sharing the ride with my hubby, and he has been wonderful all the way along.
So the editing process, can this be a painful part of writing the book when you have to take out words, paragraphs, even whole pages from a story you've written?
Actually, I love the editing phase. I love every aspect of writing, and people might poo-poo and say, no way, that can't be true. But from the moment you have that just start of an idea that's starting to build and come out in your mind, and then you get it down on the page, and then you start to polish it up. Every different one of those phases is exciting. And there'll be times where you hate it as well, especially in that writing of that first draft. It can be really difficult at times, but at the same time, it is still all very exciting as the creator. And then, so you'll go through all of those different phases until at the very end, you finally have this thing you can share with your readers, which is awesome. But the only way it ever gets there is by good editing, because when we put our words down on paper, we're the author. It's not until we really polish it up and strengthen it through editing that it becomes a story for the reader, and you guys start to own it then. Once we hand it over, it's yours. It's your story then. So we need to make sure it's ready for that. And so, it's definitely essential to have some feedback on our work from qualified eyes, objective eyes, that can say, well, that's not quite clear, or you could, perhaps tidy that up, or whatever the problem is, and just to strengthen our work. It's an awesome part of the process, and I've learned a lot through some good editors along the way. And to now knowing when I'm writing that, am I getting down what I want to say, or is it still stuck inside there? So the editing phase, whether it comes down to chopping out words or paragraphs, pages even, if it needs to go, it needs to go, because it only is allowed to be there if it's going to strengthen the story or the characters. So, it's something we need to learn to love as authors, and I certainly do.
So if you could go back in time, is there any advice you would give your younger self about writing that you've gained from your knowledge now?
That's another really good question. I'd say, Sandy, slow down, enjoy the ride. It will be rocky. There'll be some ups and downs. There'll be some awesome times. It's going to be so worth it. But make sure you put your best work out there. So take your time, get it right, enjoy the process, and always remember what drove you to write in the first place, because that will be the core of your happiness as a writer. I wanted to write because I love reading crime fiction so very much that I thought that would be a fantastic thing to be able to do, to write something that others, I can share with readers and they will enjoy it. And as simple as that is why I wanted to be a crime writer. And that's what I get to do. So how wonderful. Younger self, you've got a lot to look forward to.
So you've finished Black Cloud. It has been published now. So what is your next project?
Okay, well, I don't think I can give away too much at the moment, except to say it is a standalone psychological thriller. It's contemporary, as is all my work. It is set in country Victoria, but in a fictional place. And that's a bit of a different thing for me because to date I've mostly set my stories in real places. In this case, I've created a whole new cast of characters, a whole new world, and it's been so much fun. I'm enjoying it very much. So that's in progress, and I hope that it won't be too much longer before I can share that with you, my readers, and that you enjoy it too. And for those of you who love my Georgie Harvey and John Franklin series, yes, there is something coming after Black Cloud. After I finish my standalone, I'll be working on book 5, so hopefully that won't be too much away for you either. So, yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying what I'm doing, and I hope that I get to share something with you very soon.
So thank you, Sandy, for giving us your time and expertise tonight. We look forward to seeing you hopefully in person at the Coal Creek Literary Festival next year. Thanks again.
That was so much fun. Thanks, Gavin, and thanks to all of you who dropped by for our chat. Hope to see you soon.